The real tournament begins now.
Week 2 of the T20 World Cup is officially done and dusted, and the group stages are over. We now have our Super 8s confirmed for the next round. Some expected, some impressive, and one big name missing. Let's break it down.
The big names did what big names are supposed to do. You can see on the screen the 8 teams that have qualified. No late collapses from the favorite, no dramatic qualification scenario on the final day. For most teams, it was very simple. They handled the weak sides very well, won the big moments in the match, and they were disciplined.
India, dominant. South Africa, absolutely ruthless. New Zealand, efficient as always. England, a few hiccups along the way, but passed in the end eventually. The resurgence of the West Indies and Sri Lanka has been a refreshing sight to see, especially in a World Cup back in the subcontinent, giving shades of the 2012 and 2014 T20 World Cups. If you catch my drift. Pakistan also, few questions to be answered, but eventually got there. And the big surprise of the Super 8s, Zimbabwe, the giant killers, as they say, slayed the mighty Australia and took a scalp of Sri Lanka along the way as well, as they topped Group B and finished on 7 points thanks to that one washout against Ireland.
And that's why the table looks mostly logical. Mostly. Zimbabwe knocking out the Aussies was the biggest plot twist for this T20 World Cup.
And Sri Lanka and Pathum Nissanka especially drove that final nail into the coffin for the Aussies with that victory.
Yes, let's talk about the elephant in the room then. Australia, the pre-tournament favorites, ranked second in this format in the world. Expectations? People expected them to be finalists. And some people even predicted they will be the ones winning the championship. But reality? They are knocked out in the group stage.
In our minds, even if you check our prediction videos, even we predicted Australia to reach the finals somehow, some way along the way. In the week 1 roundup video, even we discussed after that Zimbabwe defeat that Australia might still find a way home, but it wasn't meant to be this time.
Yes, seems like we have successfully jinxed the Aussies.
Looks like it. Mr. Mithun Manas, I expect our trophy to be delivered home soon. And even for the Aussies, it generally feels like the Aussies don't even take the T20 World Cup seriously. At least that's what the general sentiment feels like among some fans, at least on social media. And another thing is, this elimination in the group stages for Australia could also spell the end for their chances to qualify for the next big T20 tournament, that is the Olympics in 2028.
Yes, the news what is being circulating, it is said that if New Zealand qualifies for the semi-final or beyond, then it could be tight for Australia to qualify for the LA28.
While their qualification for the next T20 World Cup at least is assured for certain as they are hosts, that for the Olympics seems to hang in the balance. And it feels like another man has found a new obsession in Sri Lankan stilt fishing. Travis Tulla seems to have found a new obsession with Australian stilt fishing instead of fishing for sixes at the wicket.
I saw a post on social media, I don't know where it was. Probably it was on Twitter. He took a dig at the bowling attack saying the menu has more variation.
Moving away from all of that, if we look at Australia's performances in this World Cup, it wasn't just one dramatic collapse. There were small cracks from the beginning. Injuries disrupted balance. Pat Cummins and Matthew Short were both ruled out of the tournament before a ball was even bowled and replaced by Ben Rorschach and Matthew Renshaw. Two big blows to the Australian lineup right before the tournament began did not help things as they slipped further in momentum and could never recover. The middle overs lacked fluency, the bowling lacked that bite, especially with another injury occurring with Josh Hazlewood, who was eventually replaced by Steve Smith just for him to return on the next flight home without even having a chance to affect the tournament at all. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe, on the other hand, qualified quietly. No hype, no noise, just clarity in their roles and a brilliant fan base cheering them on. Sometimes the loudest teams don't survive. It's the most organized ones that keep their heads down and do the job.
The T20 format is really unforgiving.
You blink an eye, you make one wrong move, and you get same day shipped back home. Moving on to the match of the week, or rather should we say the mismatch of the week this time. And let's be honest, we always circle this fixture. It's India versus Pakistan. But then again, pressure, hype, social media chaos, cross-country relations, almost everything is there. But the outcome is always the most predictable. India dominate again.
ये तो हर टूर्नामेंट का बात हो चुका है. लास्ट कब इन दोनों के बीच कोई इंटेंस मैच हुआ, एक्सेप्ट द एमसीजी ब्रिलियंस ऑफ विराट कोहली. हर बार ऐसा ही होता है कि एज यू सेड बिफोर, प्रेशर, हाई, सोशल मीडिया, फिर मैच में जाके सेम स्क्रिप्ट ही रिपीट होता है.
There was a little pressure. पहले 6 ओवर में थोड़ा सा तो टेंशन था. उसके बाद everything calmed down. Yes, I agree. But execution का difference है, I guess. India were calm. Pakistan rushed things, especially in batting.
वो 6 ओवर नहीं, 6 बॉल था. पहला 6 बॉल में ही लगा कि प्रेशर है इंडिया के ऊपर, क्योंकि अभिषेक का विकेट गिरा. अगला ही ओवर में तो ईशान ने एक छक्का एक चौका मार दिया था. कुछ 15 या 16 रन साइन के ओवर से लूट लिए. उसके बाद तो प्रेशर आया ही नहीं. उसके बाद तो केक वॉक बन गया था ईशान के लिए. लग रहा था वो कहीं दूसरा पिच में बैटिंग कर रहा है, दूसरा तरफ तिलक वर्मा रनर बॉल खेल रहा है. और जब ईशान आउट हुआ था, कुछ 88 स्कोर था इंडिया का, उसमें अकेला ईशान 77 मारा था कुछ 8 या 9 ओवर में. इधर एक एग्जीक्यूशन का भी फॉल्ट दिखा कि उस्मान तारिक इतना हाइप था, इतना कुछ था, उसको स्टार्टिंग में बॉल ही नहीं दी. एंड व्हेन दे गेव हिम, इट वाज ऑलरेडी ईशान टुक द मैच अवे फ्रॉम देम. यस, आफ्टर दैट इंडिया स्लोड डाउन अ बिट बिकॉज द पिच वाज लाइक दैट. लो था, टर्निंग पिच था. सूर्या जैसा प्लेयर अगर रनर बॉल खेल रहा है, तिलक वर्मा, यू कैन सी that the pitch was really tough. 150 on this pitch would have been ideal, but again in the last over, 9 Afridi leaked runs, 16 or 17. 175 was the target, or 176, but when Pakistan came into bat, it was like they were chasing 270.
Right from the offset, बैटिंग में हड़बड़ा गए. पावर प्ले में विकेट्स, मिडिल ओवर में टाइट स्क्वीज, और फिर स्कोर बोर्ड और रन रेट का प्रेशर. एट दिस पॉइंट ये राइवलरी से ज्यादा पैटर्न लगता है. द बिग मैचेस रिवॉर्ड क्लैरिटी, एंड राइट नाउ India are just above them in that aspect.
Yes, they didn't get overawed by the emotion, by the hype. It was just controlled cricket from India. And they didn't even celebrate like they were playing some associate nation. And I think you have watched Hardik Pandya's reaction to the first wicket. He didn't even bother to see the ball where it was going or if the fielder was there or not. He knew that he has got his man.
I was most interested about Hardik Pandya's reaction to Kuldeep dropping a catch.
कुलदीप का तो रोज का है. पहले रोहित विराट से डांट खाता था, अब सूर्या और हार्दिक मिल गए.
It wasn't as exciting as everyone thought it would be, but there were a couple of other matches which were nail-biting to the end. Honourable mention goes out to the Sri Lanka-Australia match, which we have already discussed in the video before, as well as the England-Italy match that happened in Kolkata, an all-European clash where the associates pushed England again to the very limit. Benjamin Menanti, standing tall with a 60 of 25, was the standout performer in the match. Just so near yet so far for Italy, but they can hold their heads up high. They have performed exceptionally well, and we hope to see them again.
Yes, Italy team playing a cricket World Cup for the first time punched above their weight. Unfortunate for them that they couldn't make it to the Super 8s. But let us now discuss about the Super 8s groups and all the preceding that has happened.
The 8 teams qualified for the Super 8s are: in Group 1, India, South Africa, the West Indies and Zimbabwe. In Group 2, England, New Zealand, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Interestingly enough, if you look at both the groups, Group 1 consists only of the group winners from the first round, and Group 2 consists of only the runners-up. Exactly similar to the 2012 edition, when all the group toppers were in the same group and the runner-ups were in another group. Anyway, speaking of the preceding, officially or unofficially, the preceding thing was introduced in the previous tournament held in the West Indies and the United States. While it is a divisive topic, I personally don't agree with it because it muddies up the competitiveness and the madness of the Super 8s.
In one aspect, the preceding can be justified because the team will have a clarity where they will be playing. Like we have two venues, India and Sri Lanka. The teams will have a clear picture where they will be playing, what condition to expect. But they are professional players, and what clarity do you need in a World Cup? During the preceding, it was believed Australia will finish second in Group 2. How can someone even believe that Australia will finish second in a group? Yes, unfortunate they knocked out in the group stage, but logically, do you think Australia will even finish in the second position?
It should never be assumed that one team will finish in any position. It should always be 2 group winners and 2 runner-ups in each group. The reservations and everything should be there, but other than that, you qualify when you qualify and you find out your matches. That should be the way.
Moving away from ICC's weird logics regarding the preceding and Super 8s. Let us see the fixtures.
The group stages were about control, but this is pressure central. Every match will be about the fine margins. 170 to 180 is the new par score. The middle overs against spin will be crucial, and that's where the matches are shifting.
Power play fireworks are fun, but the tournaments are won or lost in the 7 to 15 hour margin. From Super 8s, we can expect even tighter games, some tactical battles, and some unexpected moment that will decide the course of the game. The matches, personally, I will look forward to. One of them is India South Africa, the finalist of last year, and they are playing some quality cricket this time also. Another one will be England and New Zealand. Two teams always give us some classic.
And since we mentioned this tournament kind of feels like fate for the West Indies, I'm also really interested for the India-West Indies match that will be held on the 1st of March, as well as the clash of the other two subcontinental teams, Sri Lanka and Pakistan, on the 28th of February. These few will be some very interesting matches to watch.
Week 2 gave us structure, Super 8s will give us pressure. Now we find out who is built for the long run.
But for now, though, that is it from our side. Thank you guys for watching. That was us recapping week 2 of the T20 World Cup 2026. Because from here on out, it only gets serious. Like, comment, and share the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel for more such cricketing and footballing content. And we'll see you in the next one. Glitch Lab signing out.